Last week, I made $60,000 worth of sales. The surprising thing, though, is that the majority of that came through TikTok. I just posted about the launch over on Twitter, and I had a really good question here from Alex. Alex was asking, I'm surprised by the TikTok stats. Why do you think this is the case? Is it not only a platform for kids and dancers? So I am totally with Alex on this point. When I first started TikTok, I was dubious. I didn't think we'd be able to do business here. But 65% of that $60,000 came from TikTok. That's about $40,000. And to get those leads from TikTok over to the waiting list, I did somewhere between 8 and 10 videos about the workshop. So let's say it's 10, that means each of those videos is worth about $4,000, and they took me 2 or 3 minutes each. Lots of people think of TikTok as a good place to get brand awareness, to build up a large audience, but not necessarily to make sales. But it absolutely is. You just need to have the right funnel in place in order to get people off TikTok into your sales funnel and then make those higher ticket sales. So what worked really well for us during cohort 1, which was 6 figures, and cohort 2, which is about $60,000, was I would literally talk about what it is that we were selling and then say there's an application form in my link. We used an application form basically to filter down so that we didn't have time wasters, but instead people who were actually willing to make the investment. And then of the people on the application list, we converted 12.65% of them to paying customers. And the caliber of the people who have come into this cohort is really high, like amazingly high. These are some really advanced senior people who have been in their industries for a long time. Again, that is not what you'd expect on TikTok. You would expect a younger demographic, people who are not necessarily very far into their careers and they don't necessarily have disposable income to spend on education. That assumption has proven to be false, though, because we've run 2 cohorts off the back of TikTok that have done very well. And it's not just these launches, all of my consultation and workshops as well, it comes off TikTok. And we're talking about for some very large companies here, big top 100 in the world companies. There's a really weird 1-2 punch, I'd love to see somebody study this, but basically what happens is I will be seen on TikTok by somebody who works at one of these large companies. So that's where the awareness and the reach of TikTok is really powerful. But that individual will then go and find me over on LinkedIn to check out if I'm legit, basically. And then they will contact me on LinkedIn, often saying, hey, I saw you on TikTok. It's a really powerful 1-2 combination that I don't think many people are using, where you use the reach and awareness that TikTok gives you, along with the legitimacy that LinkedIn gives you. This could be a really powerful technique for whatever your business is. Basically, you would use TikTok in order to talk about what it is you do. And then you say, hey, by the way, my portfolio or my longer articles are over on LinkedIn. So people will move from TikTok over to